Hi guys, and welcome to another SimpleScribe video. In this video, I just want to show you what we've done with text. Previously, making text in SimpleScribe was okay, but it was not as simple as say typing into a word editor, or how easy it is to add text in say software like Canva. And we had to find a way to make it easier, and that's exactly what we've done. You'll be able to do things like this very easy now in SimpleScribe, including adding your entrance and exit type animations, and I'll show you just in a second how easy and straightforward this is to do. So let's just create a new project and I'll show you what we do. Before, when you were adding text, you had to do this modal thing. If you go to text now, you'll see we've got two options. You got your glyphs, which is the handwriting text that still exists, and I'll show you an example in just a second, but that's still the same as previous. But if you go to text mode now, you'll notice nothing happens until you tap on the canvas, and then you get your text input open up there, and then from here you can type in anything you want. I'll type in SimpleScribe because we're doing a tutorial for SimpleScribe. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll show you guys exactly what it is to edit text. Now, after you finish typing in, what you want to do is click on finalize, so you can actually move the words around, or whatever you've typed in paragraph. If you want to edit the text, you simply go to edit, and then the cursor appears again, and you can carry on typing, adding more words and changing things. But now the fun stuff is, how do you stylize the text once you've added it to the canvas? It's very simple. Under more, we have a few options. You can change the font of the text simply by toggling the font of the text. You can change the font size, even though I recommend not really adjusting the font size like this, because you can always adjust the size of the container. I'll show you. If you click finalize, click on the text, you can always adjust it by simply increasing the text size just like that. So I wouldn't touch the font size, but you can if that's how you prefer to work. So let me go back to edit, and let's just restore this to 24 so that the bounding box is correct again, and it doesn't exceed the bounding box. So then we have here a few more options I haven't covered. The color wheel, which you guys are probably familiar with if you've ever worked in SimpleScribe. You can change the color as before. You can make things bold, you can make things italic, and you can make them underlined. In fact, you can even scope your stylization to just one word. You can literally highlight one word and just make that single word bold or italic, and keep the others the same. So if I highlight this one, make it italic, you'll notice the other one stays the same, including underline. But anyway, let me take these off for now. And let me just exit the selection. Right, and then I'm back to my text. But this is like the boring stuff, you know. This is stuff you can do, just basically basic word editing here. But the interesting stuff comes from when you use custom code, and this is what we have the code button for. If you click on the code button, it shows you exactly what the styles are in CSS. Now, if you don't know CSS, we do have an AI bot here which you can ask to help you edit the CSS by going to the AI bot and just literally chatting to it, or going online, finding examples of really cool text on the internet and then copying the CSS over into here. Or you could use another chat software you want. But if you know how to work with code, this is perfect for you. But sometimes, you know, you don't even need to do fancy text. The simple text is merely enough. But not only can you do text, you can actually target the span. So you can see the HTML code here of the text we've typed in, but you can also do JavaScript to make things cool. I've included some presets of some CSS so you guys can see the things you can build with this. So for example, if I just select a few here and click save, you'll see them change. And you can just simply mess around with some of these to get some inspiration and see the kind of things that I've put in there for your CSS. But beyond that, I've also included some JavaScript examples. If you go to the presets, you can see that the code will be in there for you guys to see. Now, the last few sections of code are hidden because they require character control, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But let me just give you an example of a normal type text. Let's go with 3D rotation, click save. And now what happens is when I press play, the text will move according to the JavaScript. But let's stop that for a second and go back to code. And I want to show you guys what character control is. So to use character control, let me just let me erase everything in here. Select all, delete, save. Fine, we're back to normal. I'll go back to code, and this time what I'll do is, before I go into code, I'll click split characters. Now what it's done is it split the characters. The stylization may change because it split the characters into different sections. So you may want to go for something more simple in this section, or you may want to edit the CSS because now the CSS code has changed because we have all the characters in different spans. So in this case, let me just go for something a little more simple with my styling. So yeah, it looks like that. And you notice that this, I can always merge the characters back into the original by tapping on merge. But when I'm in split mode, I get access to character level control, and I get access to those last three JavaScript animations which were not showing before. So I can do things like spiral characters. And if you rewind and play it back, you should see more advanced looking type of animations because you have control over every single character in this sense. So if I go back to code, I'll show you guys just one more. Let's go with wave motion. And guys, you have access to control every single aspect of this code as well, including the CSS, the background, and much more. So let's just get out of this for a second, and let's go. If you merge the characters again, the JavaScript just basically gets taken away because the JavaScript was targeting specific words in the code. So that's the power that you have with text now in SimpleScribe. The video is getting really long, but I did want to show you guys that you still have access to your handwritten text where you can go line by line and even use the hand animation. So if you add glyphs, they still draw like they did before using the particular. If you want this type of animation where it's like progressively drawing, I suggest that you either use a mask on text, or you actually use a glyph type text, which you can. And the glyph text still needs to be edited in a separate modal, which is what we did before with the text. But the reason for that is because we need to convert the text that you type into paths so that it can draw step by step. Guys, if you want tips on writing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript so you can create dynamic and amazing things, I suggest you look at CodePen, for example. If you want me to give you tutorials on some basic CSS and JavaScript as well, I can do that for you. So I hope you guys have fun with the text tool in SimpleScribe. I'll probably create another tutorial because text in SimpleScribe is an in-depth subject. I haven't even covered alignment. You can do things like alignment, align things to the center, highlight certain words, make them a different color, make them red for emphasis, and you know, the possibilities are endless. Okay, so have fun with it.